Emma's life. Emma Woodhouse was a beautiful, smart, and rich young woman. She had a nice home and a cheerful personality, so it seemed like she had all the best things in life. For almost 21 years, she had lived with very few worries or problems. She was the younger of 2 daughters to a very loving father. When her older sister got married, Emma took over as the lady of the house at a young age. Her mother had died long ago, so Emma only had a vague memory of her. In her place, there was an excellent woman named Miss Taylor, who was a governess but loved Emma like a mother. Miss Taylor had been with the family for 16 years. She was less of a governess and more of a close friend, and she loved both daughters, especially Emma. Their bond was more like sisters. Even when Miss Taylor was still officially a governess, her gentle nature meant she rarely set any strict rules. Now that her formal job was long gone, they lived as very close friends. Emma did just as she pleased. She respected Miss Taylor's advice but mostly followed her own judgment. The real problems for Emma were that she had too much freedom and thought a little too highly of herself. These were the things that could spoil her otherwise happy life. However, she didn't see these as problems, so she wasn't worried about them at all. Then, a small sadness came into her life. It wasn't because of a mistake she made, but because Miss Taylor got married. Losing Miss Taylor was the first real sadness Emma felt. On her beloved friend's wedding day, Emma sat alone and felt sad for a long time. After the wedding and the guests were gone, she and her father were left to eat dinner by themselves. There was no one else there to make the long evening feel brighter. Her father went to sleep after dinner as he usually did, and Emma was left to just sit and think about what she had lost. The marriage was a happy event for Miss Taylor. Mr. Weston was a good man. He had money, was the right age, and had a nice personality. Emma felt good knowing that she had always supported and encouraged this match with her selfless, good-hearted friendship. But for her, it was a sad day. She knew she would miss Miss Taylor every single hour. Emma remembered her kindness from the past 16 years, how she had taught and played with her since she was 5, how she had worked hard to entertain her when she was well, and how she had taken care of her through childhood illnesses. Emma owed her so much gratitude. But their bond in the last 7 years, after her sister Isabella's marriage, was even more special. They had become equals and shared everything, and this was an even dearer memory. Miss Taylor was a friend that few people have. Smart, knowledgeable, helpful, and gentle. She knew everything about the family and its concerns, and she was especially interested in Emma's every pleasure and plan. Emma could share every thought with her, and Miss Taylor loved her so much that she could never find fault with her. Mr. Woodhouse also felt sad about the marriage. Because of his own kind of selfishness and his belief that everyone felt the same way he did, he was sure that Miss Taylor had made a terrible decision for herself and for them. He thought she would have been much happier if she had stayed at Hartfield forever. Emma tried to smile and talk happily to keep him from thinking this way. But when tea came, he said the exact same thing he had said at dinner. Poor Miss Taylor. I wish she were here again. What a shame that Mr. Weston ever thought of her. I can't agree with you, Papa. You know I can't. Mr. Weston is such a kind, pleasant, and wonderful man. He completely deserves a good wife. You wouldn't want Miss Taylor to live with us forever and put up with all my weird moods when she could have a home of her own, would you? A home of her own. But what's so great about a home of her own? This house is 3 times bigger. And you never have any weird moods, my dear. We'll go see them often, and they'll come to see us. We'll be meeting all the time. We have to start right away. We must go and visit them very soon to congratulate them. My dear, how can I go that far? Randalls is such a long way away. I couldn't walk even half that distance. No, Papa, no one expects you to walk. We'll go in the carriage, of course.